Okay, so we'll get started. First, I want to welcome everybody to kindergarten orientation. This is not my first one. I think it's about my 7th kindergarten orientation, my 5th at Hempfield. However, it is my definite first virtual kindergarten orientation. And this year has been full of a lot of firsts for all of us. So I appreciate you taking the time to come this evening. We will have a PowerPoint that we're going to go through and share some just kind of the highlights of things that we feel like you all need to know. And then, as I said in my email that I had sent out earlier today, if you have questions, we have a chat box available that you can type your questions into. At the end, I'll go through them and read them out, and we'll let people answer them. Or if we get done tonight, as always happens, and you think, oh, I wish I would have asked this, you're more than welcome to reach out to me via email, or you can call the office, and you'll talk to me or one of the people that we have here tonight, and we can get you the answers that you're looking for. So, I appreciate you taking the time to come tonight, but please feel like that this is not your only opportunity to talk to us. We want to be available to make sure that we can answer any and all of your questions so that you are comfortable and ready for kindergarten as it starts in the 2021 school year next year. So, so we'll start with some introductions. So why don't we start with our kindergarten team? Jill, would you like to go first?
I'm used to Google Meet, not Zoom. Welcome, parents. I see a lot of alumni on the list, and it's nice to kind of see you tonight. I'm Jill Schlegel, and I am one of the kindergarten teachers here at Centerville.
Hi, my name is Kelly Oshak, and I am also the other kindergarten teacher here at Centerville. I typically just teach half a section at kindergarten and tag team with Mrs. Schlegel. So it's great to meet a lot of you. Hopefully I'll get to meet more of you in person at another date, but it's nice to be here with you all.
Okay, Amy, you want to go for the reading team?
Hi, everyone. I'm Amy Saporetti. I'm one of the reading specialists here at Centerville. And just like Kelly and Jill said, thank you for joining us tonight. And we're excited to have your students coming to our school.
Hi, everyone. My name is Julie Engel, and I am also a reading specialist here at Centerville Elementary School. And I will look forward to meeting all of you and your children in the fall. I did, as Jill said, see some familiar names, those of you that have siblings already here, and those of you who are new to our school. I look forward to meeting all of you as well.
Deb?
My name is Deb Rodema. I'm the school nurse. I work at both Centerville and Farmdale Elementary and go back and forth. I have a partner. Her name is Lisa Treadway. And we are just so excited to have everybody join us in the fall.
All right, and now that I think about it, I don't think I actually introduced myself. For those of you who don't know me, I am Tom Kramer. I am the principal at Centerville Elementary, and just to echo what everyone else said, we're all very excited to have your kindergartners with us starting next year. So, and forgive us as we go through this, we see each other. Obviously, we don't see you, so it's a little awkward. It feels like we're talking to ourselves. So as we kind of struggle through here, I can't take any visual cues if we're boring or you're falling asleep. So bear with us as we try and figure this out as we go. So I'm going to share my screen with you. I'm going to put up a PowerPoint here. So here's what we're going to cover this evening. Introductions we already did. We'll talk some kindergarten screening. We'll do some health information with Mrs. Rodema. We've got some information about what to know about kindergarten, some information about the office that they would like you to know, what's coming up here in the future, and then we'll take your questions here at the end. So I'm going to turn it over to Mrs. Saporetti, and she's going to talk about the kindergarten screening process.
Yes, the kindergarten screenings, that is our way here at school that we get ready for your child. Around this time of year, you often hear a lot about kindergarten readiness and how you can get your child ready to come to school. Well, we do our best to get ready to greet your child at school and welcome them here to their day of learning. So kindergarten screenings is how we get started with that. And those will be taking place in the first week of May. the week of May 3rd, and they will take place here at school during the regular school day. You'll be signing up for a screening time. It's about 30 minutes long, and that'll be coming out by way of a Sign Up Genius. So that's something to keep your eye out for in the coming weeks, would be a Sign Up Genius to make your little screening appointment. And when you come to our school, you always bring your photo ID to come into the school, and then of course bring your kindergartner for the screening time. And then Mrs. Engel or myself will meet with your child for that screening. Takes, like I said, about 30 minutes. And as far as what to do to prepare for it, there's really nothing that your child needs to do to prepare. We're looking at a lot of early literacy and basic early math skills, such as with literacy, writing, having your child write his or her name, alphabet identification, counting 1 to 20, recognizing shapes, things like that. So it really just, the screening gives us some information about your child, the strengths that your child has, and maybe some areas of need. Something to keep in mind too with the kindergarten screening is the screening does not determine if your child is ready for kindergarten. That is ultimately your choice. So if your child is 5 by September 1st, he or she is age ready, is ready to come to kindergarten. If you're unsure if you're going to send your child or not, that's your decision, but the screening may help you to make that decision. But that's not a decision that Mrs. Engel or I make for you. So that is a little bit about the screening. It's a fun time. We love seeing your children and interacting with them. So we look forward to that in May.
So Deb, would you like to cover the information for your part? Deb, I think you're still muted.
Okay, this is new stuff for me. Okay, so part of my responsibility is to have a state mandated school health record for each student. So this gets started when your child enters the school, and it goes with them until they graduate high school. So there are different components of that. The first is the health history. That's going to be any medical concerns that you want to share with us. The important things that I'm really going to need to know prior to day one, things like diabetes, seizures, serious allergies, asthma, that kind of thing. Anything that you feel I need to know before day one, please reach out to me so we can have that conversation. The more information I have, the better job I can do of keeping your child safe while at school. The next thing is the physical exam. All incoming students need to have a physical exam done by your practitioner. That can be done anytime a year prior to them coming. So if they're coming, they're 5 years old, you can even give me their four-year-old well-check physical, and that is fine. If you need a form, you can always find those on the school website under the health services department. The next is the dental exam. That's the same kind of thing. That's a form. You can find that on the website as well under health services. That is actually a very easy form. All you do is fill out the information, you sign it. I don't need the dentist to sign it or anything like that, but that is also a requirement of the state, and that goes in the health record. And then the final piece, immunizations. Your child does need to be up to date with their immunizations by day one of school. That is very important information for me to have. So just, check with your doctor if you're not sure. I will be checking that kind of thing prior to, the first day of school. Also, if I'm missing anything, I'm going to be reaching out to you. And if you are choosing not to have your child immunized, just make sure that I get that exemption letter so that can go in the file as well. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. Oh, wait, one more thing. Medications, just so you know, in elementary school, I am not allowed to give any over-the-counter medication, Tylenol, or anything like that without a doctor's order and without you bringing the medication in for me. So if you have any questions about that, just let me know, and I'm happy to explain that to you as well.
Thanks, Deb.
Yep.
Okay, so some information from the office. Mrs. Besevkis and Mrs. Park wanted to pass along some just common things that they would normally go over at orientation. But one of the things is when you're picking up your child, you do always need to have your photo ID with you when you're picking them up during the school day. They will ask for it even if they know you. It's just a practice that we get in the habit of doing so that we make sure that we're sending people and kids with adults that they should be going with. The AM, PM class assignments, that's always a question that is asked. When do they come out? They come out in June. Bus and teacher assignments then come out in August, so you will not get them together. You will get your AM, PM assignment, and then you will get your teacher assignment at a later date. The first day of kindergarten is about a approximate 30-minute appointment that you will receive from the teachers. You'll come in with the child, your child, not the child, and you'll visit the classroom for a half hour with Jill or Kelly, and they'll go over some routine things. And it's just a nice way for your child to get acclimated to the classroom, to have you there for that comfort. And then day 2 of the school year is actually the first actual day of kindergarten where they come by themselves. If you're going to have a day where you're absent and someone is sick, you can send an excuse note in the next day. You're also welcome to email your teacher. We always ask that Mrs. Park handles all of our attendance, that you include her on any of those emails. That way she gets it right away and we can put it into the system. But we do accept emails as a form of, as an excuse blank. You don't have to send something written in every time you're out. And then the last one they have there is just stay connected. And I will talk about that a little bit later and different ways that you can get information starting now from us on a regular basis. Okay. So what to know about kindergarten? This is just going to be a general overview here of some information. But first, you see the school hours there. AM session runs from 9 o'clock until 11:45. The PM session runs from 12:45 until 3:30. Transportation, the important thing to know is that we provide transportation at the beginning and the end of the day, just like for all of our students. That midday slot is the point where someone will need to come transport them. So if you're in the morning session, someone will need to come pick them up. If you're in the afternoon session, someone will need to come drop them off. But the bus is available for that AM arrival and that PM dismissal time. If you'd like them to ride the bus, you can do so. The $1 million question that I get is, how do I get AM or PM? I am very upfront about this, is that I will make promises to no one. But I ask that if you have a specific request, AM or PM, that you submit on the registration form. When you fill that out online, I believe there's a spot, or if you let us know. The more specific you can be, the better. I would think that if you ask people about getting assignments, they will tell you that I do my best to get everybody what they're requesting. However, when we only have one AM kindergarten classroom, and I try not to overload that, with more than 23 kids, it can be difficult to get everyone what they're looking for. So the more specific you can be about your rationale, the better, but I can't promise anyone anything, and I'm just trying to be upfront about that. As for the academic day, they will cover English language arts, math, science, social studies, and school skills. So in terms of English language arts, we're talking about letter sounds, letters, phonemic awareness, reading strategies, things like that. They're going to learn to read. They're going to learn their letters. They're going to start writing stories, all the good things like that. And when it comes to math, they're going to start learning to count. They're going to learn addition from 0 to 10, as well as subtraction. They're going to learn to compare numbers, write numbers up to 20, and identify all the way up to 30, and then learn their shapes. So those are a couple of the academic concepts that they'll get. Science and social studies, they alternate back and forth between those units. I know they do things with magnets. They talk about seasons. They talk about different historical events. So they get a little bit of everything in kindergarten. With such a shortened day, though, the only way to get all of it in is to kind of alternate back and forth. And then school skills, that's a big part of the kindergarten day. So we're teaching kids how to be successful at school, how to work with peers, what to do when you're working independently, how to gain some of those skills for focus and attention, what appropriate work and behavior looks like. So we're working on all of those different things. It's a very robust day when you think about all of the things that they're learning and that they're getting into for the first time. So I will tell you, when they come home for the first couple weeks of school, they are going to be tired because they are going to be burnt out from their little brains working so hard while they're there. It's a very rigorous environment, but they enjoy themselves a great deal. I like to highlight our CHAMPS program. It's our school-wide behavior program. It focuses on the expected behaviors at school. We like to set them up, be upfront about what we're looking for from them. So for a specific activity, this is what you look like. This is how you get help. Here's how you participate. And then we reward them with CHAMP tickets, which then goes into a drawing in the classroom, and then a building-wide drawing for everyone to be rewarded at random. We also focus on positive social traits with our students of the month. February's was empathy, and we talk about what that looks like, how you exhibit that at school and at home. And typically in a normal year, we do that as a whole building together in the gym. This year I've been pushing out some videos because we can't get everyone together, but we try and focus on these pro-social traits because it's very important for them in terms of their growth and development as individuals, and just learning what's appropriate and how to interact with one another. And then I know the last question we get a lot of is, do they get recess? Yes, absolutely. They do have 4 specials a cycle. So they will have library, art, music, and physical education. On those other days, they definitely get a break in there. They get a bigger recess than they will on days where they have special. But the kindergarten teachers all know to be flexible about it. And if they're seeing everybody's a little burnout and they need to take a break, they will go ahead and jump and just take them right outside and give them a little time to burn off some energy and get up and move. So we are very cognizant that they are 5, maybe 6 years old. And we want to make sure that they have plenty of time to get their energy out, but that we're also getting the things completed that we need to get done. Things to keep an eye out for upcoming. First of all, general information on social media from the district. So one of the big things that the district uses, school specific, you can find a Centerville Elementary Facebook page. We will push information out on that. Twitter is kind of a more general district platform where you might get general information about the district, where they would put out a blanket thing about kindergarten orientations coming, but more specific, you would get it from the Centerville Facebook page. The most direct form of information you're going to get from us on a regular basis is the 4 o'clock emails. I will show you how to sign up for them in a second. I push those all the time in back to school night. It's a great way to just get an email every day of the important things that are going on. You can just skim through it and see what's on there. It also includes some of the things flyers that we have in the office to pick up, whether that be sports related or other programming. So it's just a good general information piece where stuff comes out from us specifically at Centerville. Preschool Connections is something that we do regularly in a normal year, where we're having them every month. We're having the kids come in, they're getting to meet the specialists, and we're doing some educational things for the parents. Obviously, we're not able to do that this year, so you're going to see some information pushed out, and I have most of your emails at this point. So we will push it out to you that way, but we will also push it out on social media and our 4 o'clock email. But you will get a flip grid where you will see all of our faces in addition to the rest of our team, our specialists, our counselors, and just all of us introducing ourselves and welcoming your kiddos to Centerville, so that they get an idea of who we all are, because they're not going to be able to see us in person, but they're going to be able to put a name with a face, hopefully. And the nice part about that is you'll have that for the rest of the school year this year and over the summer, where if you want to revisit something with them and they're a little anxious and they want to get to see people again, you'll be able to tap into that. So that will be coming out. And then kindergarten screening signups also, again, I have your emails. We'll push that all out to you. And like Mrs. Sapperetti said, it'll be in a sign up genius to sign up for a time. It will be, our plan is to have it in person so that your kiddo is going to be coming in to sit with us one-on-one. It's the best way for us to get accurate information about where they are academically. And like she said earlier, it is not to make sure that your kid gets into kindergarten. It is just to let us know where they're at. If you are on the fence about sending your kiddo, I am happy to talk to you. I know the rest of our team is happy to talk to you as well. You're more than welcome to give me a call. I'm happy to walk you through that, talk to you about it, hear what you're thinking. I can give you my own personal experience from my own children going to kindergarten and the decisions that we made as parents. So I'm happy to share that with you and the way we made decisions. So if you're one of those people that's like, you know what, I enrolled them or I registered them, but I'm not sure if I want to send them yet, but I'm looking for some feedback, I will tell you this: I'm not going to tell you what to do. but I will definitely listen, answer any questions, and just share my own experiences with you to try and help you make an informed decision so that you're happy with the decision that you made. This is where email updates. So our 4 o'clock emails, if you're a parent who's already with us, you're probably already getting these. If you're new to us, you can go sign up for these now. If you look at my screen here, this is when you go to Hempfield School District's website, you click on the main page, and then you're going to select buildings and select Centerville Elementary. This is the first thing you see. You'll see a picture up top with the header there, and then you'll see the different search bars there. And if you go down below upcoming events, you'll see subscribe to the CES newsletter. All you have to do is type your email address in there and hit submit. And that will ensure that you're getting our 4 o'clock emails. Again, it's the best place for you to get direct information from us about what's happening within the building. Okay, questions. So I know you can't ask them, but I'm going to look here quickly. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And okay, so where do you drop off the forms? So you are welcome to, if you have physical information, I am there all summer long. Aside from some vacations here or there, we don't work Fridays. But you can just drop them off the building. You can call and see if someone's there over the summer if you get it done. If it's done before the end of the school year, you can go ahead and just bring them in now. Well, not now, but once you have them done, in April or May or June, the secretaries are there. You ring the bell and just let them know that you're there to drop off some information for the nurse, and we give it to Deb, and that way she has it.
And it's actually easier to do it that way than to drop it off at registration where you went and did that stuff initially. Once you're done with that, it's just easier and more likely that I will get the paperwork if you bring it directly to the school. So that's the best way to do it. Or you can email me the forms too, whatever is easiest for you.
A lot of parents put their forms along to the kinder screening. That's another opportunity. You're going to be here anyway at the beginning of May, so you could bring your forms then if you want to.
Deb, could you also answer, when do you need to have the health form submitted?
I mean, I look for them all year long. So like I'm still getting some for our kindergarten kids for this year. I like to have them earlier, but I certainly accept them through the year. So as long as I'm getting them before the end of their kindergarten year, I'm happy with that.
Beth best methodology for providing rationale for AM versus PM. The best thing that you can do is probably send me an email. I print them out and I keep them in a folder. That is not something that a bridge I'm going to cross planning with until about June 10th. Right before you're going to get letters, I'll start building classes after they are done. After we're done with the school year. So if you send me an email, I have secretaries, they keep everything in a file folder for me. It's the best way for me to have it when I go to sit down and plan for classes. You can also let someone know at screening. If you have a preference there, when you come in for screening, you can let Amy know or Julie know. They can pass that along as well. Technology during kindergarten. So we are one-to-one iPads. You will find that in kindergarten, Jill and Kelly are doing a lot of hands-on things with manipulatives. So they're doing a lot of that. We do have some programs that our kindergartners are using, but I would say they're utilizing the iPads more as they get to the older grades than they are right now. I mean, the benefits of using hands-on manipulatives and the things that they're doing within our programs like Foundations, that's a lot of interactive stuff where they're not using the iPad. So they will use it at times in some center work with some of the programs that we have academically for the kids to use, but it's not going to be a mainstay of something that they're using day in, day out all the time. It's probably a secondary thing that they're using in the classrooms. Anything you want, Jill, Kelly, anything to add to that? Jill, you're muted.
You think I know this by now. Yeah, we use iPads. I use them mostly during centers time. So if we're doing guided reading and other children are doing literacy centers, iPads would be a center. And usually it's something educational, like a reading program, a math program. And sometimes they get to have some fun too.
And I'll just add that I think Another time that comes to mind is sometimes it's a great early finishers if we've got some great educational math apps and reading apps, and that can be, sometimes it's only a couple minutes, but it's certainly not the target of our, it definitely doesn't take up, there's many days where we don't use them at all. So
I have two questions here about the calendar for next year, and I'm just looking to see if I can find it. Right now, there is a proposed calendar that I believe is not published yet. I just looked on the website to see if it's there yet. I can't give you the day off the top of my head that we're proposed to start. I don't know if anybody else in here knows that off the top of their head. But it will get, when it gets posted, it will go under, you go to our website, I believe it's About Us, and you'll see district calendar. There's a one-page sheet that you can print out from right there. So once that gets board approved here in either March or April, it will get posted there for you to see. The one page is the best because it will lay out the entire school year and calendar dates, and it will show you when they are off and when they are in session. Yes, so EDK, our extended day kindergarten program, there's a question about that. So if some of you who are maybe familiar with our kindergarten program, we do have 2 full-day kindergarten classrooms at Centerville Elementary. They are for the entire district. The way that works is when we go through the screening process, and which we are using a new screener this year that goes along with our ELA diagnostic tool that we use for assessing students. Once we get all the kindergarten screening data back, we select students for our full-day program. It is more for students who are in need of some extra academics. It obviously extends the school day and extends the academic windows, but we will select students for that program based on the screening data that we get. It is not a program where you can request to be in it. We make the offers and then let parents know at the end of screening whether or not they may or may not be eligible for that. And then the building principal, me, will reach out to you if we're offering a spot to you and your child. And that is a parent decision. You're welcome to, we have parents to say, no, thanks, I'm not interested. And then we have some parents to take us up on that. So, but again, it is only 2 classes and it is for the entire district. So the amount of students that we would get in from Centerville is always dependent on just general screening data. There's not a set number of spots for each building. It is purely based on need and what we're seeing based on the data when we screen students. There's a question about current COVID guidelines. So currently we're wearing masks. Masks are on for the vast majority of the day. In kindergarten, they're not eating lunch. So that is a time where our kids are getting a mask break. Other than that, they're on for the most part because the guidance that is out there is if they're within 6 feet of one another, even outside, that they be wearing the masks. So right now, that is what we're adhering to. I honestly cannot even begin to tell you what next year is going to look like. It's going to be very dependent on the guidance that's handed down from the state. And then we go and adapt our day based on that. So I'd love to be able to tell you, but being honest, I couldn't even begin to cross that bridge for you right now. How many students are in each class? I would say right now we have between 16 and 20. Is that about right? I think. Right now we have students spaced out. They are at least 3 feet apart in the classroom to make sure that they have some physical space in between them. We are very diligent about reminding them about mask wearing, washing of hands, using hand sanitizer. So we're doing all that. And honestly, I know it sounds very daunting, especially for kindergarten. The kids are great about it. It's just kind of the norm at this point. So it's a very easy transition. Again, will we be doing all that next year? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what we get here at the end of the summer in terms of recommendations. But right now, that's what we're doing. We have some just general paths throughout the building that we're taking a little differently, just to kind of eliminate the crossing and the mass congregation of people. But for the most part, honestly, it feels fairly normal, other than the masks being on all the time and the space between the kids. It feels fairly normal on a day-to-day basis. What is a typical schedule? It's very dependent on how it shakes out that our specials get scheduled, but Kiddos will come in, they unpack. There's usually a little free play at the beginning of the day at their session to get acclimated. And then they jump right into like a morning meeting or an afternoon meeting, and then they're into the academics. It usually runs into either special or recess. They take a break, either going to special or recess, and then they're back at it. And then they pack up and come home. So they're very busy. It's jam-packed, but the schedule will vary depending on like what cycle day it is and when the specials are. But we try and keep it as routine as we possibly can. Yes, I think there's a question. I will have Mrs. Rodema reach out to you about that physical question. I'll write that one down. Parents attend screening. So you will, so you'll bring your kiddo to screening. You won't come in with them. They will go in. We try to do it one-on-one with Julie or Amy and then your child. And then they typically invite you in at the end just to go over how they did and just take any general commentary from you that you would want us to know about your child. So you'll be involved, not in the direct screening. Sometimes we get a little hard separation. We usually find a way around that and get them to come back by themselves. And if we absolutely need you, we will have you come back, but we try and like to get them to work one-on-one. And then we involve you then at the end. I don't know about in-person full-time or hybrid in the fall. We're just beginning to talk about that. And again, I think that's really going to depend on where we're at and what the guidance looks like. So stay tuned for that. That's why the 4 o'clock emails and following the social media stuff will be really important. If you already indicated your AM PM preference on your registration, you are good to go. Caps on the number of students in class, I believe it is 25 is our max. Now that is the maximum, and I am trying to avoid that at all costs. I try and spread them out as evenly as possible across the classes, but sometimes AM is typically heavier than PM. I would say the AM number is closer to 20 to 23. And I would say the PM numbers are probably between 15 and 19.
I've never had 25.
Yeah, luckily we've been able to avoid that, knock on wood. Snack during the school day, we do not personally offer a snack. I know sometimes they, depending on what the situation is, the teacher will work out with you and let you know how that works. Sometimes they do donations and they take a quick snack break sometimes. So that will be the individual teacher, and they would reach out to you and let you know how that's going to work. If your child has an IEP, that will come to us directly when you come, and we would implement whatever comes from the early intervention program until we convert that to a school age IEP. That's something through special ed department, and I can reach out to you, or you can reach out to me. I'd probably prefer that via email or phone call if you have more questions about that. But yeah, we would implement whatever comes through your early intervention IEP. And there is not a para in the classroom. We do have building aides who will support at times in the classroom, but for the most part, it's the classroom teacher and the class, and they're carrying all the weight themselves. They do a wonderful job with doing that by themselves. Okay, and I think that's it. So again, if you have questions, please reach out. Let me know. Like I said, I want you to be comfortable with it. With sending your child to kindergarten, I want you to be as informed as you possibly can. So the team here has a ton of experience. We're happy to talk to you. And if there's a specific question for someone, I can put you in touch with them so that they can give you an accurate answer so that you know what you're getting into. But otherwise, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I really appreciate you taking the time out to join us this evening. We're looking forward to having all of your kiddos next year. So keep in touch. Let us know if you need anything. But thank you so much for coming, and we will hopefully get to see you physically soon. So have a great night, everyone.
Thank you.